Governor Rick Schneider signed the Silver Alert legislation for Michigan in June of 2012. Now joining me is Rita Wilhelm, president of Cluttergone. Welcome.
Hi, Caitlin. Nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you always been clean and organized your whole life?
Well, I try to, and I know how frustrating it can be when you're not organized, and I've always had the sense of wanting order, and when my daughters were home too, I really tried to get that point across and make sure that things were neat and put away. And I did have this sense that things just operated so much better when you're organized. So yeah, I guess I've always kind of had that flair and that desire to keep things in place and knowing how it helps you do things a lot better.
Yeah, it's all about like the mood. Like when my bed's made, I just feel together and ready to start my day. And
Exactly.
To have the house cleaned up, it is good. So tell me how you help people, and how did the business come about, Cluttergone?
Well, I started my business in 2004. I was ready for a career change, and I wanted to do something that I thought was meaningful and that I enjoyed. And I found that people had actually been doing this for a while as a career, as a profession. I read articles talking about people who were professional organizers, and that kind of intrigued me. So I did a little more research and Googled and found NAPO, which is the National Association of Professional Organizers. And NAPO now has over 4,000 members nationwide. It's made up of people who really, their main job is to go in and help people's homes or offices just function better, because they help them get rid of the clutter, the extra things that aren't supporting their goals anymore. And I thought, this is something I want to be a part of. So I looked into it, joining NAPO, which I did, and then there's also a Michigan chapter of NAPO, which I joined as well, and got very involved in it, and met a lot of wonderful people who share the same viewpoints that I do about keeping things in order, and we really have a lot in common.
Oh, that's great. So how did the name you founded the company, and the name you came up with all on your own. What is your main purpose for
Well, I just,
the business?
clutter gone. I want to make people's clutter gone, essentially. I want to help them go through things and know that these are okay to move on, to get rid of things that don't support your goals anymore. And I just try to get people to think more deeply about the stuff that they're keeping and how important it is. And as people get older, it's more about people than things. They say the best things in life are often not things. And so we get to a stage where we're just trying to focus on what's really important in life. And a lot of us have maybe from 60 on up seem to have accumulated a lot of things. So it's kind of time to maybe start scaling back and focus on more important things in life to be spending our time on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has clutter, I feel, that they need to work on every day. Like, my house is clean, but basement could use some work, and the attic, and that's great. So now that spring is here, how are you doing? Like, is spring a popular time to get organized and clean out house, do you feel?
Yeah, typically spring is when people have a different perspective on life. They the weather's nicer, they want to be outside more, but then they look around and they see there's a little bit of room for improvement in the home. And so I try to, of course, encourage the decluttering first before we can even do the deep cleaning or the scrubbing and the vacuuming and all that. The most important thing I've noticed is getting rid of the clutter and moving things around that are kind of in the way, kind of obstructing us from getting things. Like, for example, you've got to clear off the table first before you can wax it and give it a good shine. You've got to put things where they belong. So it's all part of the process. So they really go hand in hand, the spring cleaning and the organizing or the decluttering. And then you can get on to the more deep cleaning tasks, such as vacuuming and dusting and things like that.
And this is not just in homes, this is workplaces as well.
Yeah, also workplaces, but as far as the clutter and the papers and things like that. But at home, you've got all the different rooms in the house that may need attention. So just, I guess, start with the area that's most annoying, right off the bat. You know, the
Right.
thing that
Their
it's just
main-
been a problem all winter long. You know, you've been dealing with that entryway or the kitchen or the cabinets. Maybe you have expired drugs that need to be gone through and donated to or the proper location, or you know, they have resources for recycling used drugs or getting rid of things.
That's good.
And,
Sometimes people just need a helping hand. So what do you offer to senior citizens, and what does your work with them entail?
Well, it would be a lot of the coming in and helping them with their stuff, with their clutter, with things that maybe need to be moved on in a different way. A lot of times seniors get to a point where they need to downsize. You know, they've had a home for many years, they've lived in a large house. Perhaps they can't keep up with the maintenance on that anymore, and there's a lot of things that just they don't want to be spending their time with, or perhaps they have some health issues that are preventing that from happening. So I want to kind of go in and help them go through items and decide which are worth keeping and which aren't. We sort things. I can help with the packing, or I can get a group. I belong to an organization of other organizers that we can come in and work as a team to pack things up. Whatever the person would like, you know, as far as making contact with the other resources they would need, or helping change addresses at the post office, things like that, as far as, you know, getting the move, if there's a move in the future, which often is the case. You know, as people get older, you know, we want to kind of just do things a little bit more in a more simplified way.
Kids move
So-
out, and sometimes you gotta.
So it's all part of the process, and sometimes it can take a while. You know, people have to be emotionally ready to make this big step, and if it's going to be a move to another location. So there's a lot involved. But I try to help them, just give them permission to move things on that are just not don't make sense anymore to keep.
That's amazing. That's a great service. Cluttergone.com is a great website. I know and there's plenty of information on there. How would one set up an appointment for you to come in? And are you the only worker?
Yes, I'm a solopreneur. It's my company. I just work individually, and they would just call me at 517-332-3937, or they can just email me at rita@cluttergone.com. It's all one word. Just email me, and I'll be back in touch with them within 24 hours, and be happy to help in any way. Or if someone just has a quick question, I'll be happy to address that as well. So.
Okay. Well, that's great, and it's perfect time because before summer, you want to get all ready and enjoy the outdoors. Don't worry about clutter.
Right, yeah, let's get some of the main things done, and then we can go out and enjoy this beautiful Michigan weather that we're hoping will eventually be here.
Well, thank you so much, Rita, for joining us.
Well, thank you very much yourself, Caitlin. It's my pleasure.